Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mumble number 5. One, two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna.
All right, and welcome to the first ever NLG St. Louis Blues podcast here. I am your host, Chislett19, and with me today,
Owner, head honcho, play lefty.
GM, right, center, Howie, IFR, Howie do. Everyone knows me as Howie, I guess you could say.
Omni, I'm a bench warmer. I hold it down for the loot.
And Friday, I'm the goalie.
all right. Now, I'm not really sure what we're talking about right now, to be honest. So, somebody else has to do that, because I don't know what's happening.
That's our big owner. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, we feel that when the podcast happened on the league or whatever, St. Louis kind of gets outcasted. You don't really get invites for it, so we figured, hey, if we're not allowed to come to your party, we'll throw our own. So we're just going to kind of, go through everybody's thoughts about our team and other teams in the league and who they view as threats and how they feel that St. Louis is going to end up and how they feel they're going to achieve that role. So, Nacho, why don't you kick it off with the first question?
First question. All right, this one goes to you, Devo. Why do you feel we don't get no representation at all in any podcast ever in the history of NLG?
Well, as far as the podcast, that's kind of new. New for the league. The fact that we don't get representation there, I don't know if it's an intentional thing, but I will speak on this. The past seasons that I was owner, it was hard to earn respect in the league. We were always counted out, no matter what we did every season. Now, I don't want to turn this into a woe is me moment, and I don't want people that listen to this to think that this is some way, shape, or form that we're whining here or something like that, because that's just not the case. The thing is, we feel St. Louis is right up there with every other team that people feel are powerhouses, and we feel that we get overshadowed to a certain extent, and we want to let people know around the league that we're here. And if we're not going to get representation from the higher-ups in the league, we will stand on our own and represent our team the best way we can. And podcast is one of them. So to answer your question, though, Ancho, it's just always been hard to get the respect that I feel we deserve. We had to fight and scratch to get any bit of it. So
he's camping in his swamp.
That's why this team is so important to me, and I don't know. I'm done talking on that. Anybody else want to take over?
I think, St. Louis has had a tradition in the season of being one of the best teams ever since the beginning. And, I mean, look at the Patriots. Everyone hates greatness. And I'm not trying to talk shit because I'm on St. Louis. I'm just saying the fact that, a lot of people, I don't know if it's jealousy. And I'm not saying people are jealous now, but I'm just saying most people don't like the great teams for a reason. And I don't know if it's because they want to be the great team or what the deal is.
I think, personally, people are just sick of probably hearing about St. Louis. I mean, fourth season now, we got 2 Stanley Cup wins. Maybe we could have had a third, but went to Game 7 anyway, Stanley Cup final. I think people are just sick of hearing about us. They want to hear about something new, something different. It's just the same old thing over and over again. Even before the season started, like when we started getting our roster together, the draft. Some people thought we were probably going to win a cup then or whatever, and I just think the history of St. Louis in the league, honestly, people are just sick of hearing about it, and they want to do something to change it, and we just got to see what happens.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I'm fairly new to the league. This is my first season, and like every time I've listened to the podcast, I feel we don't get enough credit to which we deserve. Every time it's just always hate on St. Louis or not even talked about St. Louis, which I think any team that's doing successful or any team that has some really good players leading in stats like Nashville with Squid and Hertz, another example for New Jersey. I feel like every team should be recognized and talked about in the podcast, but I don't know what it is with all the hate on St. Louis in the past, because like I don't know if there's been anything in the past, but I'm fairly new to the league, so I don't really know if there was anything from back then, but that's all I've noticed in the podcast. I just don't get why we're never talked about ever, and we're always just an outcast to the league.
Yeah, to speak on that a little more, and then we'll kind of end that whole thing. But
Oh shit, behind you.
it's a little bit of what Howie was talking about mainly. The fact that when you are the top team, it's understandable to have people that hate you, and that's understandable. But it's the lack of respect on top of it that's always bothered me. I remember when I first took ownership, and I don't want to turn this in about me or whatever, but it enlightens a few things on this issue. But when I first took over, man, I remember going into my first owner party, and I was being mocked and made fun of and told that, oh, St. Louis is going to be the team that people run over. And I thought, that fired me up. We were able to win the cup, and I was like, all right, cool, now we'll get some respect. And come second season, man, it was like, back to square one. And, it just comes with the territory, and it is what it is. And you know what, I in all honesty, I don't hate it all that much. The reason being is that type of stuff is what fires up our players to want to go out there and win that cup even more. And then when we do win the cup, again, and then it's like, okay, now maybe we'll get respect come next season and start us over. But it's been a good tool for us, for winning teams, to make sure that people understand that, when you go against St. Louis, you got to bring your A game. And I feel like these past couple weeks, a couple owners, I don't need to say no names or teams, have taken us a little too lightly. And I have a feeling that if they don't get out of that frame of thinking, they're going to be sadly disappointed come playoff time. But that leads me into my question I wanted to ask all you guys. Start with Friday, because he hasn't really gotten time to talk. Where do you see the Blues ending up? And if you had to pick a team out there, who are you most looking forward to playing against in the playoffs? What team? And who do you think gives St. Louis the biggest competition come playoff?
All right, well, obviously playoff games, playoffs in general, can go any way. Not saying we're going to do good or bad. Depends on what we're playing in the playoffs. But a team I'd have to see us play, I'd really hope for LA, just because they were my team last season and they dumped me off halfway through, and it's kind of upset me. I just want to get back at that. But and wait, sorry, Debo, what was your third question?
Oh, shit, I don't even remember, man. Well, no, it's just, where do you see us ending up? As far as, like, I know your schedule's been kind of hectic when it comes to work, and that being said, I mean, you're still one of the best goalies in this league, so I was going with somewhere with that. This is terrible. I just, I wanted to ask that to everybody. I wanted to see everybody being Blues members. I want to see where everybody's head's at when it comes playoff time. Who is basically the one team you're afraid, not necessarily afraid of, but you think is going to give us the best competition come playoff time when it's crunch time. So why don't we just kick that over to Howie, let him answer it, and then Honcho and Chislett, and then move on.
To me, the best team in the league. I mean, obviously we can't play ourselves, but no, I would really like to play Nashville. I think to be the best, you got to beat the best, and I mean they've developed a good team. I know we have a little bit of a rivalry, and I don't know if they feel the same way, but I know that the past events have left a lot of bad taste in a lot of our guys' mouths. So seeing them in conference finals or division finals, whatever you call it, would be bittersweet if we could pull that win off. But then again, everyone's on the Winnipeg train too, so I really don't care who we play. I just want to beat them. I know Nashville's had our number a lot this season, but I mean, we don't line match. We don't care who we're playing. Our 8 o'clock plays the 8 o'clock, and our 9 o'clock line plays the 9 o'clock line. So come playoffs, we'll see how that number shakes out, whoever we're playing.
Okay.
Yeah. Like come playoff time, that's all that really matters, to be honest. So I'm not going to say that I really like if I was sitting here and saying I'm not going to talk about us to win the cup because I really do think we have the team to win the cup. I'm not going to sit here and say we don't because this is the team I'm on and this is the team that I've been playing with, and I think that we have some really good guys here and people that know what it takes to win the cup. But like that being said, there is a lot of other good teams in the league, and anybody can beat anybody. The worst team can beat the best team. Anything could happen when it comes playoff time. Like Winnipeg, they have Futuristic and Red Bomber over there. I know they're D partners. And that's the Fizz guy, the owner. I believe he's a new owner. I don't know if I'm 100% on that. But I know he plays for the an AHL team in LG, and he's been getting a lot of points, and he's been frequently ECU'd for the NHL, and Futuristic is on that NHL team. So that's a really, really good team. Hertz is on my LG team. He's been known from LG, NLG, IOHL, UOHL, any team like that. So he's a really good forward. And then Dark, obviously we love Dark. We had him on our team. He's a really good forward. We traded him over there. Really, there's a lot of, like Nashville, Squid's a really good forward. I don't know what is with Nashville and all the hate on us. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'll send you pics of stats on the podcast. Like, come playoff time, it's really going to show who the better team is. And I'm not going to say that's us. I'm just saying anyone can beat anyone. And, I mean, if you even look at team stats, like, I don't know why you, like, if we're going to say, like, about Nashville, I don't know why you're acting like you guys are better than us, because if you go to the player standings and, like, the team stats, we're leading the league in goals for, we're leading the league in fucking a bunch of other statistics, and I don't even see you guys in the top 5. Like, you guys do have a good team, very good forwards, and but come playoff time, that's all that really matters, and anyone can beat anyone. So, like, when it gets to playoffs, I wish everyone the best of luck, but obviously I think we're going to take the cup because it's my team. It's not favoritism. But if I was to sign up for a league and not try to win a cup and think that we have the team to do it, there's no point in playing. So I don't know if anyone else or Honcho has anything to say about the playoffs or who.
Yeah, before you kick that over to Honcho and let him answer, I wanted to say one thing about Squid. I would like to nominate him, besides Honcho here. If Honcho can't win it, I'd like to nominate him for Owner of the Year. And I'm saying that correctly. I know he's not an owner. We know who runs that team. We know who keeps those players there, and it isn't Lou. And I'm personally calling out Lou because Lou takes every opportunity in every podcast to call us out. And I didn't want to make this podcast about calling people out, but I just get a little tired of hearing, us get called out when in all actuality you don't even control your own team. And I can say that confidently. I'm sure you'll have players that'll come up and say I'm wrong for saying that, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but we know what goes on behind the scenes. We know the reason that you have your good players stay there, and it isn't because of you. It's because of Squid. And so congratulations, Squid. Good job, buddy. You're killing it. And that's awesome. Okay,
Shots fired. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'd like to throw out to, some respect here to all the good teams here. Come playoff time. That's approaching us quickly here in a few weeks. Obviously I want my team to win. Our team here. I think we have a really good shot at it. Like Chislett said, we got a great group of guys here. We know what we're doing. I see us going really far. I mean, if we weren't taking this seriously whatsoever, we wouldn't have made the trades that we made, in the past 2 weeks now. We were doing that to better our team, ourselves, so we can't go on a deep playoff run. For as far as your teams go, I mean, obviously, Winnipeg, they have a great team. Nashville, they have a great team. Like Chislett said, anybody can beat anybody in the playoffs. we're the top 3 teams in the West. I don't really see. I'm not trying to disrespect any of their teams, but based off standings currently, I don't really see anybody below us beating us. In the East, you got New Jersey, and they're on top of everything over there. So going to the playoffs, I would have to say our toughest matchup probably be Winnipeg. Who I want to see, Nashville. That's who I want to see. I think we give them a run for their money. I think we beat them, and they would be highly disappointed. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I would like to interject some stuff here too. Nothing against Winnipeg. I think they're a stellar fucking team. I think they're gonna, be one hard team to try to overcome. Even with Nashville, man, like I said, dude, the players they have there are no joke, and you guys all agree, But I wanted to take it down to guys that maybe not, teams that are maybe not in the third, and a team that's coming on strong right now is Dallas. And to be honest, I almost would view them as a legitimate threat. I mean, them guys, the management core that put that team back together when it was falling apart, and they've done nothing but succeed from then on out. I mean, I tip my hat to that. That's stellar for them to be able to do that. And I just want you to know that this St. Louis club sees you guys, and we see you guys, what you're doing there, and we view you as a legitimate threat. But like everybody said this whole podcast, come playoffs, man, it's never been the St. Louis way to get caught up into we're gonna beat you type stuff. We always focus on the win, and we know anything can happen, and any team can win on any given moment. But yeah, I like our chances. Me personally, I would like to see Nashville, just because all the hype that's around that. Yeah, so why don't you kick it to another question? Anybody got any other questions?
Sure. Friday, you're studying that, dude. How'd that happen?
Yeah, how's that happen? I don't know. Just playing with a good defensive core in front of me. Both our 8 and 9 o'clock lines. Team defense is there. All the shots I'm facing are relatively easy shots to stop. So,
I mean,
as well.
So my next question is so we've had problems with our goalies this season. My one question is, how did you get so good at stopping wraparounds?
I was just going to ask that. Well, let me rephrase that question before you answer it.
Yep.
If there were to be a goalie, per se, that would watch this and was having trouble on the wraparounds, what advice would you give him so that he could be better at that?
Do not hug the post. Hugging the post is probably the biggest enemy in this game. Most goalies in the wraparound, they just try to slide over the post as quick as they can. That's not what you got to do. You got to rely on the computer. The leg kicks, just stay as close to the post as you can in the butterfly, and usually, animations help you out a lot. But hugging the post, game's broken. It's not going to work for you. You just gotta. It's not even. You gotta get comfortable in playing how you play. I don't like hugging the post. I see other guys. I see hell, the Demented Christ tonight. He hugged the post in 3 of. Is it Howie? You wraparounds tonight? I don't know. He's hugging the post and he's doing this fine. I cannot hug the post for anything. So, and it's all how you want to play it. It's what you feel comfortable doing. But I've gotten success from never hugging the post and just staying a little ahead of the puck as far as being square goes.
Well, that's some good advice there. I hope you, I hope some people took some notes there, and they can, in the future, stop wraparounds. I think Howie was going to say something.
Well, I had a question for Howie.
Go ahead.
When this season first started, did you see yourself going onto the All-Star ballot? And did you see yourself having an awesome season that you're having right now?
The awesome season part, yeah. I knew there's a lot of good players in this league, like we've touched before. But the thing is, I've played with Honcho. I've seen the teams that you've built personally, Debo, and you had a lot of the core guys coming back. So I knew I'd have a pretty good season. The All-Star ballot, I shouldn't be on the All-Star ballot. I mean, let's be honest. Chislett, more points than I have. He's he's a better forward than I am, hands down. I mean, or not Chislett. I'm sorry, Haxby. Haxby kind of got snubbed in my opinion. The kid's a savage. And then you got Tons too. Tons should be above me, representing our team. I'm honored. I'm flattered that I got picked to be on it, but like I said, I think Haxby or Tons would be better suited for that position, and they should have gotten it before I should have, easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me kick it over to Chislett. Chislett,
Okay.
kind of similar question that we asked Friday. Obviously, your game speaks for itself. You're probably one of the better forwards I've ever seen play this game. So, my thoughts to you for that. What would you give some advice, though, for forwards that are trying to figure it out? I mean, how were you able to figure the game out in the manner that you are to produce at the high level that you are?
All right. So what you got to do is you find a right wing to carry you, and then you just show up, and then it's like I only get carried. A lot of people know that. So
Now, the Haxby must have a strong back because YouTube been carrying me all season.
hmm But I'm gonna tell some people some things that gets Haxby ready for the game. Since I suck, like I'm terrible. Haxby's amazing, even though that's not true. I'm just fucking around. But Haxby's pregame ritual, he gets up in the morning. He has 16 slices of toast. He takes a bath. He usually gets on his laptop and either plays Club Penguin, I think it is. He got a membership for that game, or it's like Habbo Hotel or something. I'm not really sure what one it is, to warm up his fingers. He usually only plays with his thumbs, like to type on the laptop too, just to get them warmed up for the game. And then, he just shows up, gets in the party. I usually play some Mumbo number 5 for him, and right then he just turns into a fucking savage, to be honest. And then he just carries me to victory, and that's why I'm a good player.
That's awesome. So your advice is find a Haxby and play Mambo number 5 for him, and
Yeah,
you'll be
and he'll appreciate that.
You have to eat
Buy him some loaves of bread every now and again. I'm sure that makes him happy too.
Almost
Yeah.
full loaf a day, yeah.
Go ahead. I thought Howie wanted to ask a question.
No, I got nothing. This is your show. You and Honcho, you run it. I just respond.
Okay. Well, I mean, Chislett, I know you were kind of upset, and Howie touched on it as far as Haxby not making the All-Star ballot. I totally agree. I think that he should have made it. That's not taken away from Howie. I understand when the ballots are getting made, you can't fill it with a shit ton of people from one team. But I figure if you're going to fill it with, if you're going to have 2 games and you're going to put, multiple people from our team on there, I think it should be based off stats at that point. I don't really feel that you should play favorites when it comes to All-Star. I mean, that's what the point of it is. Now, maybe in real life, you want to see your favorite guy out there, whatever, but in league setting, you want to see, the guys that are heading in the stats. And I don't know, isn't Haxby right underneath you, Chislett, or is Howie right underneath you as far as points?
Haxby is right underneath me. I think Haxby has 92. Howie has 7. After tonight's game, he'd probably be close to 80. Haxby does have a lot less games than a lot of people in the league, and I don't know if they took that into consideration. But another thing about Howie, though, he doesn't give himself enough credit, and I know, like, you always say me and Haxby carry. I know I just said Haxby carries me, because he does, but, like, you carry me too, my man, No, but Howie does not give himself enough credit. He is a good player. Without a good center moving the puck, we're not able to play as a team without a good center. So, like, I'm not saying Howie doesn't deserve to be on the All-Star game or in the All-Star ballot, because he definitely does. Just if Haxby, like, I feel like Haxby should have been there first, and I'm not trying to sound like a dick when I say that. If everyone thinks I am, I'm sorry.
No, I get what you're saying,
Haxby
100%.
even could be there over me, because he has, I think, 4 or 5 less games to me, and I think 10 less points. Like I said, yeah, the kid's a savage. He gets his thumbs warmed up on piano tiles too, that app, and he should definitely be in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't really have anything else, gentlemen. If you want to take it over, Hancho, if you got a couple things you wanted to talk about, or
I mean, to touch on what Chislett just said, if you want to talk about stats here, Chislett's got 26 games with 102 points. Haxby's got 22 with 92. So to touch on what he said, yeah, I mean that's pretty ridiculous.
Hard following Haxby on some ridiculous fucking win streak too, as well. Like, I mean, I don't think their line has lost now in quite a long time. I could be mistaken. Maybe you guys can clarify that for me. But I mean, you guys are just tearing it up. Go ahead.
Our 8 o'clock line, when they jump up and play the 9 o'clock line, all three of us three together, lost one game to Washington at the beginning of the season, week 1. After that, we haven't lost yet. In regulation, I think we lost to Winnipeg in overtime, but in regulation, we've yet to lose since week 1.
Yeah, just one little thing here to touch on. The last podcast I watched, Nashville, whoever was in there for Nashville was saying basically St. Louis sucks. We beat St. Louis all the time. And you can share pictures of stats. Well, I mean, we played you guys tonight, and this was my first game playing against you. No Haxby, no. Since I get carried by Haxby, everyone thinks I shouldn't have won if I get carried by Haxby. We shouldn't have won as a team. So, like, if you guys want to compare stats, like, you guys can show us yours when you beat us, and I can show you the one game I played against you guys and we won. It just kind of pisses me off that you guys act like you are top shit because we think we're a good team, but we don't go around acting like we're better than everyone because there is a lot of good players in the league. There's Hertz, there's Squid, there's Howie, there's me, there's fucking Kong, Nasty, like there's Futuristic.
Suki,
Red there's
Bomber,
a ton
yeah.
more players in the league, and there's even some bad teams that aren't having the best season right now that have some really good teams. But if you guys want to, like, I guess just poke at us, we can gladly take the cup from you when we beat you in the conference finals.
I can touch on that a little bit. I don't know if it's so much Squid and JJ, and these are just names that I know, high-profile names over there that I know personally. I don't think it's so much them. I think they understand every time that we go out on the ice and they see you guys. I mean, they have respect for you guys as players. This goes back to what I said earlier. I like to call it fucking owner drunk. And the guy has a good team that he didn't really fucking build, and he's high off the fact that they're winning and feels he can go out and talk shit when yet he isn't putting really too much into it. So I think in that situation, this is my own opinion, you could probably single out the one guy that is trying to call out teams and talk shit and talk down to teams. And it's sad because he's just living off what his GM and his other players are doing for him. So, it is what it is, man. I've never chose to be that way as an owner. I always tried to go the classy route, the respectful route, because I don't feel you should ever kick somebody when they're down. And at any given time, that team can come back and beat the shit out of you, and then now you look like the asshole. It just so happens we're going to have to prove that whole motto to this guy. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. The thing is, I don't want us to get overconfident and overthink it and think that it's all good. Because, like I said, Squid is tearing it up in the league right now. He's not somebody we want to take lightly. He'll make you pay if you make a defensive mistake. JJ, the same thing, great player. So, and I'm not trying to show it to anybody else on Nashville. I just don't really know the roster all that well. Those are really the only two guys besides the douchebag that runs the team of names that I know. So, yeah, my bad. Hancho, go ahead.
I just want to say, touch base on this Nashville thing that's happening. I don't hate you guys. I don't hate anybody in life. It's just a video game. We all take it serious to a different degree. the trash talk, whatever, comes with playing sports, whether it be online, competitively, or in real life, doing whatever it is you do. That's fine. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit. All right? I respect you guys. You obviously are a team that, you're tied with us in points. You're going to go out there and win and play to win. You're going to try to win a cup. That's great. But come playoff time, I mean, if we meet up, you guys got to go through us. I mean, we still got the cup, and we're not willing to give that shit up. I'm not going to say any names or whatever. That's just not what I'm going to do. I'll take my hats off to you guys. Good job. We still have a few weeks left. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll be interesting. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, cool. So I'm assuming, unless anybody else has anything else they want to say, we'll go ahead and end it. But before we do, anybody have any final thoughts they want to share?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say good luck to everybody in the All-Star ballot voting. Anybody that is on there is deserving of being in the All-Star game. Obviously, it's up to a vote. And there's going to be 2 games for as far as I know. So cast your votes. I know I did mine. I know everybody that's in here did theirs. Good luck to everybody in that. Good luck the rest of the season. I hope whatever team you're on, I hope you guys achieve what you want to achieve.
One thing on that on the All-Star game there, though, if you are going to vote for players to be in the All-Star game, I'm not going to say don't vote if you're not going to do it right. But if you could, don't only vote for players that are on your team. There's a lot of players in the league that deserve to be in the All-Star game, such as Squid. Like, if you're not on Nashville, that doesn't mean you can't vote for the guy. Hurts, Howie, Honcho. Like, vote for the people that you think deserve and are having the best season, not just people that are on your team and you're just trying to get your team in the All-Star game. And it would just make for a better All-Star game, and that's all I want it to be. So I look forward to, if I make the All-Star game, to play with all the players that are in the voting, and hopefully it would be a good one.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. Like, I voted for, I believe it was Red Bomber, Squid. I mean, to touch base on Squid, like Debo said earlier, he's a great player. He knows what he's doing. He's deserving of whatever comes his way, whether it be success, failure, whatever it is. I hope it's success. I mean, I never really talked to the guy. He's a good player. He deserves being an All-Star game as well. I know the D guys from Winnipeg, Futuristic Red Bomber, deserve it. Hurts does. Chislett, of course, deserves it. He's, I believe, still in the lead for points. Friday deserves it. Stud 10D, go look at his stats. Anybody else that's going to be in the All-Star game deserves it as well, too. So I hope if you are deserving of it, you get into it.
Right. Oh, Howie, you got any final thoughts? Something you want to say before we shut it down? Okay. Friday. You got anything you want to say before we shut it down?
Not this late. Nope. I'm all set. You guys pretty much touched all bases.
Okay. Well, I'll end it with this, and then we can end it, unless Howie were to come back to his phone and say something before.
One thing there. Just get the music ready. That's the way. That's the way St. Louis Boys ends the podcast, and we start the podcast. So.
Before we cue the music, I wanted to end with this. I hope everybody understands the reason we did this was mostly for out of fun, but to also let everybody know that St. Louis is here, and whether or not you want to respect us, we're going to earn that respect. We're going to take that respect if we have to. I hope Cobra doesn't silence us and pull this off the site. I imagine he will do so. Yes, I'm calling you out, Cobra. I still got love for you. I have a feeling you might be pulling this video. But like I said, I hope everybody takes it the way that it was intended. There was a couple times I called some people out, and then, I stand by that. But for the majority, man, I love this league. I love the people in it. It's because of players and people like Squid willing to help a team out and all that. It's because of you guys that this league is successful, and it's a great thing. But anyway, I'm done, so we can cue the music and we can end this. Good job, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, This is Mambo number 5.
Hey, it's home. I like it.
Hey, that's Howie.
I got removed. That's upsetting.
Oh, Howie, you got something to say, bud?
Everybody in the car, so
Nope.
You sure?
Yup.
You sure?
I'm
I'm just gonna serenade you guys in a second.
Oh, yeah. Sounds
Sarah
wonderful.
and Rita. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really beg you, my lord. To me,
Bye, everybody.
it's just like